Well, welcome back to the channel. In this video, we are gonna tackle the interior stuff on this van, at least some of it. See if we can get the TV on the inside to work, fix some interior issues, and just generally get it ready for taking the family on a road trip. So let's dive in. First thing we're gonna hit is right inside the door. This handle was broken when we bought it. This plastic's ripped out, so I've got another handle to slap on here real quick. This should just take me 60 seconds or so. And just like that, new handle is attached. The next thing I'm gonna try and figure out is the power situation with this TV. From what I can tell, the Explorer vans, they did this a bunch of different ways and can't find any good videos on how exactly to pull this thing apart. I've kind of pulled on stuff over the last couple of months trying to figure out if something pops off, can't find it, so I am going to pop the speakers out and then pull them out and try and look behind there to see if I can assess how this thing comes off. But the basic issue is that this TV doesn't come on at all. I don't know if it's an issue with the TV or an inverter. I suspect an inverter issue, but I need to locate where that inverter's at and then try and plug something else in it to see if that comes on. And if that doesn't come on, then we've got an inverter issue, and I'll replace the inverter, and then I may decide still to replace this TV and put something bigger here. I don't know. It kind of depends on how everything is attached behind and what I can do. All right, not terribly difficult to get out of there. Pop the speaker off, and then I could reach my hand behind and then down, attached to the back of the TV, these 4 studs with washers and wing nuts. So could just spin them off by my fingers, and the TV came right back out. Interesting to note is this is TV antenna, and the antenna cable is just attached to some foil, and this is your antenna, just foil. It's actually tape. It's not really sticky anymore, but you can tell it was sticky at one time. And you got 2 wings going off, and that's your TV antenna. So still need to locate where the inverter is back here and get it tested. So I'll get to working on that next. We've got it working. And I found the inverter underneath the driver's seat, and it actually was missing a fuse and unplugged. So just plugging it back in made everything work. Next thing I'm going to do is just measure this. There's a lot of space consumed with the bottom bezel in this speaker, and this doesn't have the connections I want in the back because this van is from 2012, so that's older. So I've taken some measurements. I've got basically 15.5 inches from the top to the bottom, and as wide as I want to go, I might cover up the speakers just a little bit, but I'll see what kind of TV size I can get to fit in here and get the connections that I want. We are gonna pivot here. I am going to look for a larger TV. I think that's probably like a 19 or 20 inch. And I think with thin enough bezels, I can fit a 32 up here. It probably sit an inch down lower than this lip, but that'll be fine. But I need to do some research and find one with the right connections. So we're just going to leave this kind of apart. I don't drive this van that much anyway, so it can sit like this for a few days if necessary. I can find one online that will fit my needs. So we're going to work on the head unit next, which will tie into all this. If you have watched the channel for a while, you might remember I had a 92 Caprice wagon. I think I maybe did 1 or 2 videos on it. And one of the upgrades I was planning before it got smashed with hail and totaled was an upgrade. And so I have this a Toto F7 10-inch screen. It's a Android Auto Apple CarPlay head unit with a 10-inch screen. It's been sitting around and haven't had a vehicle to put it in, so it's going in this thing. That is a double DIN. This is set up for a single DIN with this adapter here, and then there's a little like cubby that's supposed to go. And I think this will work up there, and we're going to try and tie in this whole system together, make it all work well. So I think I'm going to need like an HDMI adapter to RCA and a couple other things I got to order. But we can start with the head unit, get some of this stuff wired in, and start the upgrade there.
Welcome to German Cars. Thank you for watching. I hope you like this video. Please subscribe and enjoy your video. Thank you.
I have complete chaos in here right now, but I've worked out a system that should work. So this is the 10-inch ATOTO that we're putting in here, and I've got my wire harness set up. Key is on, so this thing is on right now, and we've got audio visual in, and that is coming from this converter right here that is changing HDMI over to component audio visual, and then that video signal is coming from this HDMI splitter because I want to be able to shove HDMI in a couple different directions. This, by the way, is being powered off of the USB coming from the ATOTO. And then this right now is being powered off my laptop, but eventually it will be up top with the TV because there's a USB port on the TV, and it's just powered via USB. And I've got some video on screen and the corresponding video on the screen down here. So this should allow me to shove video both to the front screen and to the screen up at the top at the same time, things like movies. And I should be able to, I've got to run a different port, but I want to be able to shove video from the ATOTO up to the screen on top too, in case we want to, I don't know, display the Google Maps while we're driving from Android Auto to the screen for the kids to see when they ask how much longer. They'll be able to visually see where we're at on the map. So next step is to pull some more wires. I need to pull that video wire that's going to go to the top screen in here, and then start buttoning the front up. Up in the front here, never really looked at this battery before, but it's a little small for this big van, so I'm gonna have to replace this at some point. Someone put a smaller battery in here, but it does have both the side and the top posts. So I got a top post connector, whatever it's called, block, and then I ran two because I didn't have big enough wire, so I ran two of these. I think they're 6 gauge. They might be 4 gauge, but I don't know. Anyhow, I ran it over to a breaker that I've got off right now, and then I mounted a distribution block here that'll go on the other side of the breaker. I know one of those wires is black. That's what I had, so I'm using it. I did put a red end, and I'll put a red end on the other side, so I know, but you always end up with more black than red when you buy these kits, because your ground wire doesn't usually need to be all the way back up to the battery. So have extra black, so I've got that wired up. I am short of the eyelets, so I need to get one that go, 2 of them actually, from here to here and make a new wire. So that'll get buttoned up later, but it's pretty much done. Running through the firewall and I'm in the process of fishing all the wires everywhere, so it's kind of a mess in here right now. I've got to stretch a power wire to the back, and then there's going to be amp up top, so I'm stretching this power wire all the way to the top, as well as some RCAs for various things. RCA for video in the back, for the rear camera, RCA, 4 RCAs for the amp that's going to go up top, 4-channel amp, another RCA up top for video from the head unit, remote power wires for the amps, and some more stuff. There's a number of things that got to be run around. In the back, I took the license plate light off and had found this nifty little backup camera and license plate light. Goes together and it bolts up in the same spot. So I've already got the light wired in. I've got to wire the camera itself to one of the reverse tail lights here on this side, and hook up the RCA on the other side for the video from the camera, and we should have a nice backup camera. Well, I need to redirect a little bit here. I had run several wires that I'm trying to get up to the top behind this TV, some audio and HDMI, and I ran them through the dash and then up here, thinking I was going to go up the A-pillar and into the top. However, there is no hole at the top of this A-pillar into the kind of raised portion. There is, however, one at the B-pillar. There's a hole here, and that is where the wires that are already in are running, is up through this B-pillar. So I need to redirect these wires, pull them back down. I'm going to come down through the doghouse cover here behind this carpet, and then under passenger side seat, and then up the B-pillar. So I need to reroute some wires. All right, got those wires run up the side, and the old system had this DVD player that when I bought it did not have the face to it, but it's a DVD player, and it had left and right, basically no front and back, just left and right channels, and it powered speakers up front here, and then the top speakers, which are holes right now, these two speakers in the back, but no sense of front or back, and those were powered directly off that DVD player. And I'm tying everything together on one sound system. So I ran 4 channels up and power, and you probably can't see it. Maybe if I tilt the camera sideways. There's an amp sitting in there that's all wired up. It's not wired to the head unit yet, but it'll get powered there, and that will power left, right, and front and back because it's 4 channels. So that's all connected now, and I'm starting to work on the mounting bracket for this TV. This is going from, I think, a 19-inch to a 32-inch TV, which should fit here. It'll be a little tight, but it'll fit. I've already thrown it up there and tried it out, so I need to make a bracket adapter that will connect to these 4 mounting holes that the TV was originally mounted to, and to the back of this new TV. Well, I whipped up a couple of brackets to hold that TV in place at the right spacing, and I need to get some bolts for this side with some wing nuts from the hardware store to complete the installation process. And it's starting to get dark out, and I need to put some kids in bed anyway, so we will finish this up another day. But the brackets are done, and the TV is just about ready to be mounted. Okay, I've got the TV mounted. I've got the audio turned down so you can hear me. But everything's working. The amp is behind this speaker over here. and then the amp is powering the top two on this side and the top two in the front. And then the head unit is powering 4 speakers in the back. There's 2 in the doors and then 2 in the, I don't know, C or D pillars, whichever those are. The head unit is also powering speakers in the front. The speakers in the front powered by the head unit are very, so I need to sort that out still. There is sound coming from them, but it's just not very strong. In terms of AV, I kind of covered this earlier, but just I've got a video playing off my laptop right now. It's going into this panel, which will be mounted in that hole right there. And then that is going to a splitter that's sending HDMI up to the and into the, well, it's actually sending it into an HDMI to composite splitter, and then the composite video and audio is going into the head unit, so we can see. So then Android Auto up there for some reason, but I can also display the same video that is going on the laptop or whatever the input device is. It could be a PS5 or an Xbox or whatever kids want to bring in and set in here. So we can shove whatever video into it, and it'll get displayed on this screen and the front if we want to, or we can run Android Auto off the front. So it is time to start buttoning up some of this. And before I button it up, I'm probably going to sort out maybe what's going on with the speakers up here. Okay, the next fairly simple thing we're going to accomplish is this rear AC. It was, when I purchased it, it was taped up here. I haven't even pulled the tape off yet. And I picked up a replacement. I think it came from eBay. Here you go. GM part number if you need it. And should be able to just slap this in, hopefully. I'm going to pull this off and take a look, but it looks like it's basically just a snap-in piece. I got that slapped in there. It did just snap in. It looks like there was probably some sort of trim ring around here at one point, so maybe I'll go see if I can figure out a trim ring for this, but at least it's functional now, so it'll be good. As I'm starting to button this thing up before I throw everything back together here, I want to address this, I think it's called a limiting strap, and it doesn't, the door doesn't catch. You can kind of feel it grab just a little bit there, but it doesn't grab like it should and kind of hold the door open. It just falls, and we're on a little bit of a hill here, but not a ton. So I picked up a new one off of the Amazons, and it looks like based on this hook I can unbolt these two and just pull this out, unhook it. It's going to fit in this way, and then rehook this new one in. I'm hoping I don't have to take this door panel off, but that's why I'm doing it now before I put everything back together, because I will if I need to. So let's see if we can get this off without pulling this door panel off.
On the gas now, can't you feel it as we tear through? Take my chances on these wild.
And look at that. It holds itself open, no hands. Okay, before I slap everything back together, I'm going through in these various connectors boxes with HDMI and stuff going into them. There's no real retention to keep the HDMI in the box, and this isn't behind a stereo that's static, so it's going down the road. So just to make sure that, you know, it doesn't come apart, I'm taping them up real well with electrical tape so that they don't vibrate apart, and then I'll start putting the dash all back together. I'm not sure if I mentioned this before, but I picked this up off of Amazon, and it went, what used to be here was a little USB plug that went to the radio, and I pulled that out, and found this on Amazon. It's roughly the same size. I think I had to open the hole up just a little bit, but it's got an HDMI plug and USB, and I've got both of these plugged into the head unit. Well, the HDMI is going to this converter box that's back here that goes to the component video and audio that go into the back of the ATOTO S7. So that'll allow us to plug in various devices, whatever we want, to the head unit. The other thing I'll mention, mostly for myself and for my own memory later, but I wired in this Access ASXWC or something like that. I forget what the exact acronym is. I spent like 4 hours the other night trying to get this to work. I cannot for the life of me figure out how to make this thing work properly. This is a 2013 GMC Savannah. It should be using low-speed CAN bus for the steering wheel controls, but nothing I tried worked. I tried using their manuals, I tried using AI, I tried using Reddit, and I just could not make this thing work at all. So I don't know if it's a user error or a problem with this or an incompatibility with anything. I don't know. But the radio is not that far from the steering wheel. It's closer to the driver's side anyway, so I am giving up on it completely. I'm going to leave it wired in there in case one day I want to mess with it. I've owned it for too long now. I can't return it, so I'm going to go ahead and throw it back there. I'm going to leave it wired in the way I think it should be wired. And I did double, like triple, probably quadruple check through the process of my wiring, and still not working. So I'm going to throw it back there. One day maybe I want to return and figure out how to make it work. Okay, everything's buttoned up and we are enjoying a movie together. I've got the audio quiet right now for copyright reasons, but TV is mounted. Still got a mess in here, but it's playing from my laptop right now. Got HDMI going into the dash right there. The dash is all back together, and it's playing on the 10-inch screen up front as well. I had trouble getting this old, I think it's a Tab S6. I don't know, I have this external display connector that I think has worked in the past. I need to try it on a different TV, but it's not working with this anymore. That was my intention, is to use the tablet instead of a laptop. At first I thought I had an issue with when I buttoned it back up, that something got disconnected, but then I grabbed the laptop and it is playing just fine. So no idea what's going on. I'm guessing it's an issue with the tablet. Doesn't push HDMI well, I'm not sure. So, but it's all back together. So we are just about ready for a road trip. Okay, well, that about covers the upgrades that I'm going to get done in this video. There's still a few things that I want to do. I didn't get to the armrests like I wanted to, but I've got most everything done, and we've got a road trip coming here in a couple of weeks. My oldest daughter is getting married, so I just got the plates renewed. I had to replace a couple rear tires on it because it was due, and everything is pretty much road trip ready right now. So with the upgrades of the AV system and some functionality upgrades, we should be good for a nice 14-hour drive out to Colorado and back. So 14 each way. So I'm looking forward to the drive, and so thank you for watching, and subscribe if you want. Click that like button. Leave a comment down below if you want. I'll see you on the next one.